Well, hope all is well with you and yours. In this video, I'm going to talk about working with ISA to address nerve pain. Back in 2025, I had pushed too hard in working with physical healing and ended up severely pinching my lateral femoral nerve that just caused excruciating pain down my thigh to the point where I couldn't sleep for weeks. I was just walking around like a zombie. I couldn't sit. I couldn't be still. Basically, life sucked. That's all that. I was just in pain. I was in pain, and that was what I could focus on. None of the over counters was helping. I was stretching, strengthening. I was doing all the things that everybody, the chiropractor, the doctor, the physical therapist, I was doing everything that everyone was telling me, but nothing was helping. So then, working like runes is part of my life, and I work with runes. So I'm meditating, and ISA came up, and I recognize that ISA's been used for addressing fevers, but I hadn't thought about nerve pain and that it's a burning sensation. So I was like, all right, well, that's cool. So I ended up drawing an ISA on my leg with a permanent marker, and I was working with the root Galder sounds, just like trying to intone the energy in my leg, visualizing it, working with the cooling ice, just trying to address the pain, at very least to minimize it. And didn't help at all. I tried working with, stillness, as I mentioned in previous videos, of just being still and trying to be objectively present, but not caught up with the pain. But after, it doesn't matter if I was sitting, standing, laying, it didn't matter what position I was in, hanging upside down, tried that. It just made it worse. The pain was so much that I couldn't even sit with it, much less try to reduce it. So at one point, doctor put me on steroids, which gave me temporary relief. It did help. I was able to get a couple days sleep at that point. But after, I ran through the course, it just came back. And I guess with steroids, you don't keep taking it. It's at this point, it's probably been a month, and I'm talking like sleeping only, at most an hour at a time, but that was lucky. So one day I was going into the doctor's, and the nurse was giving me a shot in the butt for temporary relief. And she suggested ice pack. So, okay, and at this point I wasn't even thinking of the runes. I was just like, whatever's going to work is going to work. So I get home, I bag up some ice and put it on my leg. And within a few minutes of numbing it, it changed everything. Not only did it, numb the receptors and make it so that I wasn't feeling the pain really, but it also helped reduce the inflammation. And and then so in this particular case, interestingly enough, it wasn't like the magical properties that we connect with the runes in the sense of stillness or ice and coolness and things like that. It was actually the physical ice. It was ice itself that became the key factor in helping me to finally start the healing process. Because as I was doing it, eventually I purchased some special kind of wraps that I can wrap around my leg. It eventually got to the point where then I was able to work with the ISA meditation of just being present without getting caught up, just having that objective awareness. and then also incorporating some of the lessons with Wunyo. In particular, like at that time, my wife reminded me about, you know, breathing into the pain, relaxing, telling myself to relax, to calm, to soothe, to flow, to get the energy moving. So I was coupling Isa meditation of just being still and that objective presence of just awareness, and also coupling it with Wunyo meditations of telling myself to relax, to breathe, to feel the breath moving into that space, and as I exhale, to like soothe it, to relax the inflammation. Yeah, so that's how so it's been a year at this point, maybe a little bit over, and while I still have some nerve damage, at this point, like I'm sleeping mostly through the night. My day to day, like it's basically just another ache in my life now, rather than this excruciating, all encompassing agony. So yeah, I wish you well. Till next video, be well and be blessed.